Genuinely had no intentions of coming back to you guys with an update on this girl, but I had to. It just keeps getting worse. I was on my timeline, which is something I rarely ever do. And I see that this girl made a response yet again to this situation. And I was like, you know what? Let me let y'all hear my favorite song in the process.
Alright, bitch, I got some little shit to say for you. You know what I'm saying? I still love y'all. I done did some shit that I can't tell a soul. Took so many losses, I shake it off, cause this shit getting old. I'm hot as the sun, can't get too close, you gotta drop and roll. Trap doing numbers, merch on the floor, bitch, this is stop and go. Oh, before the close, watch your hoe, I push shit to the flow. Bitches CEO, before I let them play, I let it blow. This shit ain't no joke, I love niggas, I love old some hoes. Trying to defame my name, the world watching like this shit real a show. Some shit about a predator, I don't question them, I still pray. Shit ain't never gay, the toughest social done come to the rainiest day. Fit so many faces, how come y'all can't give me no fucking grace? I guess we all perfect, ain't nobody got no room for no fucking mistakes, huh? Bitch.
Don't piss me off, y'all. Like, I was joking with the dancing. I'm a dance teacher, you feel me? I don't really dance like that. But if she think this shit a joke, it's a joke, then we gonna play all day. How is this your response? I mean, if you gonna take this as a joke, we all gonna have a grand old day. Let's make it a comedy show, because what? Woo! So strap in, folks, because this video is going to be a long one. So let's just back it up a little bit. If you guys did not watch my last video talking about this situation, make sure you guys go watch it. Hopefully I remember to link it down below. However, I might not remember. Hold me accountable if I forget. But it is the video posted before this one. We are talking about the substitute who happened to be a stud who was hired and fired in the same day for making suggestive comments to kids and filming a get ready with me that was inappropriate, doing a day in the life, filming the children, literally showing the school like she broke every rule in the teacher handbook, and people have been dragging her for it for the past couple of days because a lot of people cannot understand that she doesn't understand what she did wrong. In almost every single one of her responses, whether it's her responding to someone or the video she's made, she seems to just like not be taking this seriously, or honestly just be trying to make us see her point of view. But it's like, literally, we saw what you posted and we're trying to tell you what is wrong with it, and you don't seem to be listening. To add insult to injury, the child that was actually in the original video has spoken out.
Damn, shorty. Sheesh. Man, I gotta get up out these school kids trying to take me down.
Everybody has seen this video everywhere, and if you haven't, just go watch it. So there was a substitute teacher at our school that made a really weird comment to one of my friends. The comments on that video are talking about how it's her fault because she was staring. Posting this on my account because I have a bigger following and she wants to talk about it. So here's my friend Kamira.
So I'm Kamira. I keep getting bullied for no reason. It was a comment that she posted on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And my mom actually, like, my mom knows about this. Why everybody be like, I'm grown for looking at a grown woman. But if somebody was recording you from, like, right here, looking at you, you're going to look at them, apparently. Like, it's like common sense to look. The second thing is, I am not grown. There was a lot of comments made that, I'm grown. The second thing is, I am not the reason she got fired. She was the reason she got herself fired. Y'all didn't know that the whole school saw it. Every coach, every teacher, everybody saw the video. She posted on every platform that she has, so it's not even I told. Third, our volleyball team went to state, and I'm on a cheer team. Walking around the school when they had like a mini parade. So it's a lot of cameras in your face because everybody's recording you. If she had her camera like this, okay, I'll smile. But she had her camera like she wanted to talk about somebody. So I'm getting bullied by so many grown people that they don't have nothing to do with it. Like, I was looking like, oh. Look. And then, look, they're still talking. Look at this. Do you not see this? You know I'm supposed to record students? I think they're saying her apologies. Some teachers record students.
ask for consent.
Yeah, it's common sense. She didn't ask for consent. She walked around the whole school recording kids. I'm not even bashing her about it, but it's just the simple fact that y'all blaming me for what happened and I didn't even do anything.
We're not even trying to like be mean towards the sub, because sub may have not meant it in a weird way, but it was just like taken like weirdly. Like calling her the things she called her, like getting better out. Made an apology video, and her apology video was good. If you're gonna make an apology video about a video that you messed up about, why aren't you taking it down? And I think the reason that she is not taking it down is because she is so worried about the likes.
Yeah. But she said that every student was around her and we knew her. Nobody knew her. The reason I know her is because I have a job. I'm not gonna say, well, I work at here. I have a job, and she be at my job. I said I was staring at her like I wanted her. I'm sure. I've
seen that person before. I've never heard about her. No. She has a lot of followers.
And literally, she stopped harassing me on the internet for something I did not even do. I did not get her fired. I did not look at her in a sexual way. I didn't do anything. The only thing I was doing is being a child. And
peace out, guys. Justice for Kamira. Stop bullying Kamira. hashtag stop bullying Kamira.
Yes.
Child, it don't look good. It don't look good at all. First of all, for anyone that even had a thought in their mind to say that this child is at fault. This child was looking at her. She was checking her out. Go to hell in a handbasket, because that is disgusting and that is problematic on every level. And you are just as bad as this substitute teacher. There is no such thing as a child going after an adult, because at the end of the day, you're an adult and you're supposed to have the autonomy over how that goes. If that kid was pushing up on her, which I'm very sure she was not, he said she was not. And from what I can tell, and from what a lot of us can tell, she was not. But I'm saying, if that were the case, it doesn't matter. You are the adult and you are supposed to stop that, nip it in the butt, not entertain it whatsoever. This whole idea of grown adults sitting here saying, oh, well, the kids was checking me out. Oh, well, they like me. I look just like the kids. It's caca. It's legitimate caca. Like, I really don't want to hear what y'all talking about right now. Like, if you have that type of opinion regarding children, there's something wrong with you. And I don't even need you on my channel right now. We're not even about to do that. Like, luckily, a lot of y'all restored my faith in humanity with my first video. There was no one agreeing with her. Even if a lot of people didn't believe that she deserved to get her TikTok taken away, she deserved to get fired, and she deserved to lose her DSP job, a lot of y'all were still in agreement that, yeah, she didn't need to be a teacher at all, and that wasn't for her. Whether you think she's a PDF or not, whether you agree with what she did or not, I think we are all of the general consensus that she should not be working with kids whatsoever, because she is too childish. It's the fact that you went into these people's school. You do a get ready with me with a strap on, which we're going to talk about later. And then you show us your lunch, which is very childish, but you can eat whatever it is that you want. Do what you want, girlie. You're an adult, barely. You go in there with a body cam or Ray-Ban glasses. We don't know. But you go in there recording the kids. You record the school. You tell us where you're at, which is very unsafe. Imagine if someone had a custody battle and they were trying to hide from an abusive partner, and then they see their kid in this TikTok. Okay, exactly. We need to use our heads. And then you proceed to talk about how, oh my God, everyone thinks I'm a kid. Ha damn, shoddy, and all of that. Okay, the dialogue was insane. But then you go on to say, oh no, that wasn't the real dialogue. I actually edited that in. The kids didn't actually hear that. Okay, that makes it worse. That means you genuinely don't understand what you did wrong, because you proceeded to do it over and over again, because the process of content creation is a lot. It's not just, oh, do, edit, post. There's a lot that goes into it, so you didn't see anything wrong with that. And then you proceed to say that you're not gonna make the kids do anything. And then when everyone tells you that what you did was caca and it was bad shit, you say that we're bugging and our minds are in the gutter and we're wrong for thinking like that and you're not a PDF. And then you get your accounts banned, you lose your job as a DSP, you go and you make a new account and you think you little STUDstitute. You auditioning to be the fourth Migo. You're auditioning to be in the next YN fashion show, whatever the hell it is, and you're still posting inappropriate content. From the Lunchables and the Skittles for breakfast, which I let slide because you're an adult, you can eat what you want, but coupled with the rest of everything that she did and the fact that she does not understand or take accountability is extremely concerning and problematic. Let me just say right now, stop what you're doing If there's kids in the room, make them leave. If there's kids in the room, make them leave. I'm going to say it again. If there's kids in the room, make them leave. Don't say I didn't warn you.
I ain't gonna lie, my bitch fucked me so good last night. I'm still, man. I'm thinking. Damn. I love that bitch now. Stamped it. That's my bitch.
Oh my God! Ooh!
Yeah. How long I've been waiting for this. Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
I don't think you guys walk away from this.
You just make sure people know what happened here today.
So this is a combination of older content as well as newer content, and I just genuinely do not understand. You just don't get what you did wrong. That's it. You don't. And we're gonna keep telling you until you understand it or you get off the internet. I realized, like, literally, as I sat down to do this video and I did my notes and stuff, like, there's a lot of things I didn't even touch on because I feel like there's a lot of things I really didn't need to say. However, it's just interesting because watching her on her new account talk about how I'm going to be sued for defamation of character. Why am I on YouTube? Girl, because you're dumb. And you just keep talking and talking and talking. She's been fighting for her life on almost every platform. And it's just like, girl, just shut up.
Daddy, can we get a STUDstitute?
Introducing the STUDstitute action figure. She does everything but teach with her very own body cam harness for recording inspiration, not chaos. Damn, shorty, shit. These
First day sub life. They really got me teaching algebra. Damn, shorty.
Damn. The board decided we have to let you go, Jay.
I'm not perfect. I messed up. And I let a lot of people. Everybody online hates me now. I don't even know who I am anymore.
Let me get up out of here before one of these students try to take me down. I look so young, they think I'm one of them.
These kids, y'all.
Damn, shorty.
These students trying to take me down.
Why did I get fired?
STUDstitute, coming this fall, only in theaters.
Man, y'all sick. Like, y'all genuinely sick, man. Like, what is this? What point y'all gonna stop? I'm suing defamation of character, bitch. Like, this is insane.
Did I mention to y'all she's still out here filming kids? Now, I cannot pinpoint when this video was made. Whether it was before or after this incident, take a look.
The STUDstitute are coring more kids.
I ain't got no dollar.
You that TikTok boy?
Hell nah, I can't. I'm a girl.
Why does the STUDstitute keep on recording people kids?
I'll give you one of the phones.
Give you one of my phones?
Yeah,
Damn.
I'll get a phone.
How I'm a TikTok? He about rob me. I ain't got it, bro. He about to get on my ass. I think y'all need trying to book me.
You a man. You a man.
I hope them kids ain't see that strap that she just wear for fun. Why is she wearing that all the time anyway?
Damn, y'all better chill out.
You keep your dollar.
Who? They done bought all the way in there. Hey, mom, like you act like your mama should. Yeah, get down out here. Yeah. Bring her out here. I want.
Well, she did say most of her followers was kids, I guess.
And she's on so, oh, well, y'all not going to tell me to shut up. Y'all can't tell me how to deal with this. I done lost everything. Now she got to go for me. She's asking us to give her money because she's getting evicted, which doesn't really make sense. Realistically, that would mean that you were getting evicted prior to literally this happening because it takes a while to actually get evicted. So it's just like, who do you think you're fooling? Like, honestly, I've been seeing a lot of commentary on this situation, and it leads me to believe that a lot of the people that I've been watching are correct. There are some people out there that have a theory that this was all planned and this was all staged. She had zero intention of becoming a legitimate substitute teacher. And literally, like, she's literally just trying to get clout. Look at the beginning of the video. She thought she was a rapper. She thought she could be little STUDstitute. She thought that she was about to get something from that. Like, she thought people was gonna be like, hey, Bart. No. I mean, the beat is nice, but that's about it. Like, what do you think you're doing? You literally just got accused of one of the worst things to ever be accused of. And your response is to rap on a beat that you more than likely didn't even pay for, post it and talk about something. I did this, the things that I can't. Why? Child, I genuinely cannot. I feel so bad for this kid because she did not deserve that. Okay, she did not deserve to be recorded and posted for millions to see, but she also did not deserve to be dragged and said that she was the one that was being inappropriate. That is a child. I don't want to hear nothing about that. She's a child. There is no way that she can be the one going after the adult, because as an adult, you are the one that's supposed to nip that shit in the butt. This not only pisses me off because I am an educator, but it also pisses me off because I also went to schools where the teachers and the staff were having relations with students. If you guys are on the membership or you guys have been here before, you guys would see that video. I literally put it on there because obviously the nature of the video is like, but like, it's actually crazy because I know if any of you guys are watching this and you're like high school or college, you probably think it's really not that deep, especially when people start talking about like college, because it's like, oh, well, they're legal. Absolutely not. You should never, ever, ever, ever be having relations with any of your students. It does not matter if they become 21, 25, whatever later on. It lacks professionalism. It lacks sense. It is disturbing. Okay. And that's why the whole idea of age gap couples pisses me off too. Like, there's no reason you should be with somebody that's 30 years older, 30 years younger than you. Like, I will never agree with it because there is a power imbalance there. When you're doing that as a teacher, when you're doing that as a staff member, it makes it even worse because there is a power imbalance that is already there. Even if we're talking about coworkers and bosses, there's a power imbalance that is there. That person is your boss. That person is your teacher. That person is way older than you, way more experienced than you, and more than likely has a certain type of power over you that you subconsciously don't even see. And that's why it's such a problem. But in this regard, it just like, I don't understand why she's not really understanding what everyone is saying to her, because it's like, you want to talk about something, you want to sue for defamation or whatever, but it's like, you did this to yourself.
Young adult, went to college, played ball, active sports. Grades always been A1. Like, what y'all saying don't fit me, baby. I see how it may come across, but I'm not that freaky to be sitting up talking about kids like that. Like, genuinely, like, it just sick. I'm not an over-sexualized person. Like, I don't even do that with adults. I'm not going to do that with kids, and let alone put that on my platforms. If my intentions were sick like that, why would I broadcast it across my page when I know I'm a content creator? That really don't make sense to me. It's like y'all think people don't make mistakes. I did not know, because why would I post it if I knew that I couldn't post kids? Regardless of the situation, my intentions were never bad, genuinely. Like, nothing inappropriate crossed my mind, like, at all. I'm not that type of person. Every day it's getting worse. Why are you guys constantly making this a thing if I've already got fired? I've already got fired. Why is it constantly being a thing? With the consistent backlash and posting, I have not only lost that job, but I've lost my main job as a DSP, direct support professional. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've had that job for a year. My main job is down the drain. That is sick. I've lost not only one job, but 2 jobs to this situation when I clearly only made a mistake. I posted it and I'm a content creator. Why would I do that if that was my intentions? It literally does not make sense. It's like y'all don't understand. I get it. I clearly made a mistake. I've already got fired. Can you guys stop? Like, literally, I've lost my main job now that I've been here for a year. You just gotta know me to know, man, I'm nothing like that. I don't get down like that in no type of way. Do not let the tattoos fool you for a second, man. I'm a great person, great heart, all above. I just made a mistake. I genuinely just made a mistake. And I apologize to them kids and the parents. But I guess it's just a sign, man. I need to just focus on the gifts God gave me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were just a stepping stone. I wasn't supposed to be a substitute teacher, and I'm gonna take that for what it is. I have 1,000 gifts, man. So that's what I need to focus on. I did start a GoFundMe, but I really didn't want to start a GoFundMe because I really don't want the free money. So I would just, man, if you would like to help, because I have lost everything, man, I got a link. I have my clothing brand, man. If you can just buy anything, I hand make all my merch. Like, I'll be working. I have something to do to keep me active, since it's gonna be hard for me to find a job. Everybody knows it's everywhere, man. My face is everywhere on every single site. I'm on YouTube. Like, why am I on YouTube? Why are you guys reposting me on YouTube? I hope you guys find the real predators out there, honestly, because it's not me. Like, genuinely, like, no matter how you put it, you ain't gonna find it on my name in such a way, man. I'm such a great person. If y'all was to meet me for an hour, man, y'all say, man, she ain't nothing like that. And it's just me being honest. Like, I'm just not that type of person, regardless of what type of content I put out there, because I know y'all gonna try to say something about my content, like I said. But, man, if you want to help me out in any way, man, I appreciate it. I genuinely appreciate it, because I literally lost everything.
The parody videos, I can understand. Anyone in that situation would be very, very upset and would be very, very annoyed. But again, you did it to yourself. A lot of y'all were like, yo, what happened to the teacher that was getting his hair braided and he was fired from the school? So I actually did do a video on that. I need to go back and watch what I exactly said in that video. However, he was actually never fired. He still has his job, and he actually did make a comment about this.
So my former principal texted me not too long ago saying, like, bro, I think you started a movement with a laughing emoji. I'm like, you know, what are you talking about? Proceeds to send me a video of Teacher Bay. I don't know if y'all remember from a few months back. Teacher showing up, Club Hills, the whole nine. Internet had a field day with her. Yeah, he sent that to me because I guess the whole fiasco online reminded him of my situation. And he sent it to me, and I kind of joked around like, I guess I walked so other teachers could run, or whatever the saying is. But I actually sat there and thought about it. I'm like, damn, ever since that whole unbraiding gate scandal, and if you haven't realized already, I know I changed my hair. I'm no longer Mr. Braids because y'all bullied me so bad that I changed my hairstyle. But I'm the teacher that got fired. I never got fired. The internet made that up. The teacher that got fired for having the students unbraid his hair. But ever since that incident, I feel like I've seen or am witnessing an influx in teacher influencers, content creators, so on and so forth. Now, granted, don't get me wrong, I know teachers were recording well before me, but I feel like my situation just like opened up another realm of possibilities, a whole nother portal where people just think that they can just do whatever they want. And I'm making this video because I'm seeing the whole substitute teacher thing of the substitute that just got fired for her social media. And it really made me think back on my situation. And I'm surprised I haven't come up in any of these think piece videos, because usually, like with the Teacher Bay, Teacher with Club Hills, my name was, people were tagging me left and right of videos they were making about me. I'm like, leave me the hell out of this. I'm back. I'm at work. I never lost my job. I'm not showing up in 7-inch pumps. I'm chilling. They made me think about my situation and how people mischaracterize me. So I'm like, damn, let me try to really dig in and look in this situation to see, like, because they're probably just demonizing this young, teacher for the wrong reason, so on and so forth. But then I actually looked at the videos. I can't even defend you. There's literally nothing I could say. There's nothing I can say. Like, I was about to say, like, yo, y'all need to chill on her. She's younger, blah, blah, blah. But, like, there's literally nothing I could say, or I can say, but I'm sorry this is happening to you, because I've experienced it. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, being just slandered across the internet. Like, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But also, and this is coming from me, some people might think, oh, right message, wrong messenger, bite me, first of all. But we just got to be more cognizant and intentional with the things that we post online. Yeah. And P.S., just to reinsert this here, I was never fired. I was never fired. I never lost my job. The internet made that up.
Even he can't defend the bullshit. I don't even want to hear this girl talking about right now. Like I said, there's a lot of things I literally did not touch on in the last video because I thought there were a lot of things that really didn't need to be said. So let's just go down the laundry list. Here we go. First things first. So just in case you guys missed the first video, let me just give you guys a quick little preface, but a long preface about who I am. So I am a dance educator. However, my background is in English mass communications with a concentration in broadcast journalism. And then my master's is in public relations. It was actually to be a radio host. And then it shifted into YouTube because radio hosts don't get paid shit unless they are in a #1 market. There's a lot that goes into that, but yeah. The goal was actually to just do YouTube and then start a social media agency. So that's what I did. My parents were never going to let me go to school for dance. All right, let's be for real. I'm Haitian. Dance where? All right. Did that, conquered it. I got 3 channels now. Like, this is what I do. Please make sure you guys keep the description box for everything you guys always ask me about down below, because my channels is active, baby. And I decided to go back to dance. Eventually, I had the idea during high school and college, like, hey, like, I really want to open a dance studio for underprivileged youth and adults, because part of the reason I couldn't go back to dance, like, for real, the way I wanted to, was because there was no opportunities to do so. I was in college, I was graduating, and it's like, okay, where do I go from here? However, I literally been teaching kids since I was a kid myself. I was 15 when I started. Actually, I'm lying. I actually was 12 when I made my first dance piece. And then from there, I would make pieces here and there. When I was 15, that's when I started really doing things seriously. I was having pieces done at galas, nonprofits, all types of stuff. And I was like, yo, like, we outside, like, we could do something. If you guys are not aware, I cannot say the word on here, but y'all know Panorama, Panini, same thing, the P word, the event that rocked the country in 2020. And I didn't know what I was going to do because at this point I had like literally just started the idea of like really taking things seriously and going into like the professional dance world or whatever. I ended up landing a job at a Jewish school. Then I ended up landing a lot of temporary and permanent assignments at nonprofits, schools. And then of course, as you guys know, I worked as a high school dance teacher at a charter in Newark. Like I have a lot of different experiences, and I will say like it's been a rewarding experience and I absolutely love it. Although being an influencer is my biggest thing, like I am an influencer first at the end of the day, especially when I sit in front of this camera. I am a teacher first when I am in that building, right? Or I'm working with kids. I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, let me vlog, let me film the kids. Oh, this is going to be a story time. I'm not thinking about that because I'm with these kids. And one thing I don't like about what this girl keeps saying is, oh, I'm a content creator. I film everything. I didn't know I couldn't film the kids. Bitch. What are you actually talking about? She also got fired from her job as a DSP, okay? She was a direct support professional, which means more than likely she works with kids that need a little extra help, or she works with kids that have disabilities or are special needs. Therefore, what do you mean? Do you record those kids? I ain't see a day in the life of a DSP. Sitting here talking about, oh, I'm a content creator like it's something. First of all, understand, right? I need y'all to understand there's a difference between a content creator and an influencer. Listen up closely. Content creators don't typically make money from their content. They are concerned with the aesthetics, providing content, and creating community. An influencer makes money from their content, and that is their sole purpose. It's not everything that they do. However, their goal is to make money. If they're not making money, then it just don't work, okay? Most of the time, these people are content creators and they're blurring the lines with influencer. And more than likely, this girl was broke. Now she's talking about some donate to my GoFundMe. Now she's talking about how, oh, she lost everything. More than likely, she had this job because she needed it. A lot of people are not honest about doing content online. A lot of people think, oh, well, you make content online. You should be making thousands of dollars. You have millions of followers. Has nothing to do with that. You can have 10,000 followers and make more money than someone that has 100,000 followers. You can have 1 million followers and make less than someone that has 500,000 followers. It has a lot to do with your CPM, what platforms you're on, what content you make, if you get sponsorships or not. There's a lot that goes into it. A lot of the reason I started taking dance seriously and teaching kids again, etc., was to open my nonprofit in the future. I feel like it didn't make sense to just be making dance videos on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram and then go open a studio. I had to get in the field. I had to get my teacher skills up. I had to be able to manage a classroom full of children. So that's where I went from there. Content creation, being an influencer is very inconsistent a lot of the time. You might make $5,000 this month. You might make $10,000 the next month. You might make $2,000 the month after that. Sometimes you don't know what your pay is going to be. So I will say teaching kids has literally saved my life because there was times where I'm like, bro, what am I going to do? I was not able to pay my bills. I owe people to this day. Like, I'm being real with y'all. There's people I owe. There's people that, like, literally, if it wasn't for them, I don't know what I would have did. I've went through a lot, especially in the past 2 years. Like, the past 2 years was really, really rough. Like, 2022 going into 2023 was really, really bad. I even had a GoFundMe last year, which shout outs to those of you guys who actually donated and actually cared, because that saved my life. If you guys are not on the Patreon, then y'all gotta join the Patreon, because everything is literally on there for the most part. My dad might be facing an amputation. Then my mom lost her job, so I had to step in and help there. It's a lot. And a lot of people think like, oh, well, you got all these followers, that means you make all this money. That's not how it goes. Okay. Especially if you're someone that has mental health issues. So again, if you haven't been here before, I was diagnosed bipolar, ADHD, seasonal depression. I did have PTSD at one point, but they don't be talking about that no more because I don't be having no episodes. Thank God. And I actually have not been on meds for the past year. I don't know how I'm surviving. It must be by the grace of God, the loi, and my ancestors. I don't know. But however I'm making it, I'm making it. And I'm happy to be here, because to be honest, a lot of people don't talk about that. That mental stress of having to always be on point, always showing up, always making content, always updating people is a lot. So I get why she probably took this job, and she probably was like, okay, yeah, new hustle unlocked, job. But however, she needs to be honest with her audience, and she needs to be honest with herself, because realistically, if this was not a publicity stunt, what exactly was it? Because you've worked with kids before. You more than likely went through the process of what you can and can't do with kids. And then you sat there and you went into these people's school and you did it anyway. I realize a lot of you guys do not understand how the substitute system works and how people get substitute teacher type of gigs. And it does seem like everyone is getting hired with no credentials, etc. That's exactly what's happening. And teachers have been telling you this for years, but for whatever reason, a lot of y'all did not care. Depending on where you live, more than likely you have seen that there is a teacher shortage. There was someone that commented on my post and they were like, oh, nah, like you got that wrong. The charter and the private schools where I live are thriving. This is my YouTube channel. I'm obviously going to make videos about my personal perspective and through my personal experience. But in a general sense, you can look it up. There is a teacher shortage nationwide. It doesn't matter if it's public, private, charter, Christian, Montessori, whatever. There is a teacher shortage nationwide. And it's to the point where a lot of places are desperate. I live in New Jersey. There are billboards all over the place. There are ads on the train like, hey, do you want to have a career in teaching? Starting at 65K, starting at 50K, such and such. Please apply here. So I'm trying to understand what we're not understanding here. Like there's been articles about this for the past couple of years. It's really, really bad. The whole panini made it worse. I know what the word is. Okay, I'm college educated. Don't be playing in my face. Y'all be pissing me off. Every time I say panini or I say panorama, y'all like, oh, why is she saying that? Use context clues. You can't really use that word on YouTube like that. Some people get away with it. Some people don't. I'm one of the people that doesn't really get away with it all too often. So I'm going to say panini. Okay. So the panini or the panorama happened and it got worse. That's why a lot of the kids can't read. A lot of the kids did miss out on key development stages. They missed out on key work and key interaction during that time. And it got worse because a lot of these teachers did not come back to the classroom. A lot of the teachers was like, yeah, nah, like, I like the freedom of working from home, or I really don't want to see these kids anymore. And some of them did go back and they were like, yo, like these kids are horrible. But that's another conversation for another time, like the behavior of kids. Like, because I feel like a lot of people really talk about this and there's a lot of reasons for it. And I have a lot of different opinions about that. But the overall consensus that I need y'all to understand is these schools are desperate. The last school that I talked about when I was talking about surviving Newark charter schools, that school literally said, hey, if any of you guys have any friends that are interested in teaching, it doesn't matter what their experience is, send them in. Have them send their resume. Swear to God, God strike me down right now, see my baimenti. This is something that legitimately happened. And this is something that does happen at many schools nationwide. Now, depending on the certain school, understand that certain schools don't have the same requirements as certain schools. And certain schools and certain teachers and certain staff members are allowed or not allowed to do certain things. And that treads into the whole idea of a lot of people like, well, how did she not know she wasn't allowed to record the kids? Have y'all been on Teacher Talk? No? I implore you right now. Go on TikTok or Instagram, go on type in Teacher Talk or type in Teachers of Instagram. You're going to see plenty of teachers out there recording their kids on a daily basis.
Y'all, my teacher don't know what she doing.
Get off my phone because I don't got no data.
You mean storage?
Yes.
Be for real. I don't got no data. I don't got no data.
My name's Sadie and I brought sweet tarts.
He said he got it.
Your mug crazy. Now, a lot of you guys are probably like, wait, how is that possible? How are they allowed to do that? Not everyone signs the same contracts. Not every school district really cares. They are literally trying to get teachers in the building. You think they're going to be out here checking your social media? We have to really be real here. Like, the crisis is real. Do you really think people are going to take their time out to be like, okay, let me look up this person's socials? Should they? Absolutely. However, most of the time, they're not. Also, understand a lot of the social media policies with a lot of these schools are very outdated. They were created like during the MySpace days. So they don't really encompass making reels or making videos. Like, oh, don't post photos of the students. But it doesn't say don't post video. It'll be like, oh, you can't post them, or it'll be like, oh, you can film, but you can't post, or you can film and you can post, but only on the school page. Like, there's a lot of different things in a lot of these contracts that are outlined differently that a lot of people don't take into account. Fun fact, there are actually some schools that actually encourage or like when people record the kids or whatever, because it is promotion for them. So charter schools, private schools, anywhere that thrives off of donors, investors, and tuition will probably want you to do so, because it's like, okay, like, we'll get more kids into the system. Also, there are some schools that are aware that the climate is changing, and there are influencers who are teachers or teachers who are influencers, so they kind of let certain things slide. I literally worked at a school a few years ago where they had an influencer teacher that, like, she was really, really big. Like, she was literally getting her kids, like, free Chipotle, free this, free that all the time. She was always taking pictures with them. She was vlogging all the time. It was very interesting. I don't know what happened. The kids never really gave me the tea about it, but she did end up quitting. I don't know. It was very interesting. I don't know. I feel like maybe somebody might have said something about her videos eventually, because I ain't gonna hold you, it was a lot. Like, literally, the kids were low-key, essentially, like, I don't want to say her cash cow, but, like, it was very interesting to see. It'd be interesting if I could find her on TikTok, but yeah, it really depends on where you are. Let me just say, right, I know a lot of you guys are probably flabbergasted as to how that's possible, but respectfully, and a lot of you are not gonna like what I have to say, that's why, as a parent, you gotta be there. You gotta go to them board meetings. You gotta go to them PTO, whatever. You gotta join that shit. Like, you can't just, oh, my kid goes to school, I expect them to learn. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Sorry about it. Like, this is what happens when you don't go to the Board of Education meetings. This is what happens when you don't go to the town hall meetings. This is what happens when you don't join the PTO. You ain't got no say, because they're gonna be like, oh, well, we brought this issue up at whatever meeting. Did you object? Did you put in a request? That's what happens. And that's the same with everything across the board. You don't like what's going on with your city. You don't like the gentrification. You got to go to the meetings. More than likely, she's seen teachers and she looked up substitute teachers or whatever doing content with the kids. Some of them got fired, but a lot of them, they do it every single day. And that is what their platforms are about. So to be honest with you, I don't think that it's crazy that she didn't know not to record the kids. I think it's all common sense for us to not do it. But the difference is, A, the contract that you sign, and B, what you could get away with. Because there are a lot of schools that will make you sign something that says you won't record the kids, you won't post the kids. However, will they actually follow up with it? Will they actually sit there and check if you did it? A lot of times they don't. Or a lot of times they see it and they genuinely don't care. Or a lot of times you work somewhere and you don't have your coworkers, you don't have your principal, whatever, and they never see the video until it goes viral, like what happened to this girl. With the whole substitute teaching situation, there are different types of substitute teachers, but the primary ones, right, are the ones that are hired through an agency and the ones that are hired directly through the school. If you're hired directly through the school, most of the time it's a lot more stable and solid of a position. And that is typically where you will see like a legitimate onboarding process, legitimate training, a legitimate background being done, because the school is directly paying you to be there as a substitute teacher. Unfortunately, a lot of these districts work with different types of companies. You have, what was it, Kelly something? Kelly, I think she worked with Kelly Substitutes or something like that. There's ESS, there's Scoot Education. There's so many different companies out there, and they are the ones that are in charge of bringing the people into these schools and giving them assignments. 9 times out of 10, okay, you will not meet the school, the principal, the staff, or whatever of where you're going to sub at. It's literally, you apply to be a substitute. You might have to do some sort of background check. Sometimes it's not really even intensive. Like, you might have to do fingerprints. But let's be for real. How many people out there are committing crimes and haven't gotten caught? Okay. And then after that, you might do a little training or whatever. It might be an hour, it might be 8 hours, it might be whatever. And then from there, you can head into the classroom and you accept your assignments as the day goes. Like, literally, you wake up at like 5, 6 in the morning and it'll be like, hey, we need a teacher at such and such school, blah, blah, blah. Do you accept? And then you say yes or you say no. That's literally how it goes. It's not one of those things where you become a substitute and you automatically know where you're going every day. The only way that happens is if the school actually genuinely likes you, if the teacher specifically asks for you to be back. Like, I've had so many horrible substitute situations. I can't even tell you. Like, it doesn't even make sense, because a lot of times it's like, the substitutes come in and it's like, who the hell hired this person? Like, where is the professionalism? Where is the decorum? Like, how does this make any sense? And if you guys think that this girl is the worst of the worst, I'm telling you right now, she is not the worst of the worst. In the last video, we talked about the girl that was out here basically doing what she was doing that I knew that was a substitute. And she literally was just like trying to be friends with the kids. Like, I've encountered so many horrible substitutes. Like, I've had a substitute steal from my desk. Now, I implore you guys to watch the Surviving Newark Charter Schools series. Hopefully, I do decide to finish it before the end of this year, but I will tell you, working at that school was traumatizing. And to this day, I still genuinely miss those kids. And I wish none of that happened because it could have been an amazing experience for me and those kids. However, I could not be an accessory to a school that didn't have a curriculum, that didn't have grades in all the time, that had a turnover rate that was worse than Amazon's. And Amazon has a horrible turnover rate, okay? Like, I couldn't be an accessory to these kids literally coming to school every single day and not learning a thing. And then to add insult to injury, I ended up getting sciatica. Why? Because I was not equipped with a proper dance room. They had me dancing on straight concrete. Okay, like literally concrete, cement type of floors, no mirrors. It was difficult. Okay, and I did what I could with what I had. When it got to the point where like I can't walk, it became a problem. I was out for a full week because I could not walk. I was in so much pain. Why the hell they send a substitute to my class that was telling the kids, oh, I don't know where your teacher at. I'm going to take her job. You're going to take whose job? Whose job you fit? Like, who are you talking to? When I'm telling you, I was pissed off. You guys are probably like, well, how do you know they said that? One thing about me, I create a great rapport with children, and I always have my foot soldiers out there. So they used to tell me all the time, the sub did this, the sub did that, the kids were this. During third period, they were So I knew everything. I had a rundown, okay? Like, I had a written report, all right? And they told me everything in every single class, because I had 5 classes. They all told me, like, yeah, nah, she said she was going to take your job. She said she was going to be our new dance teacher. Like, we didn't think you were coming back. I was so upset, and I made sure she never came back ever, because don't you ever, I don't know who, like, I'm worse than these kids. Don't play with me. What? Like, what? Like, what? Yeah, child, I'm still mad about it. I'm about to, let me relax. Hey, the audacity, and then you would think that she was actually doing something serious with the kids. The Get Me Bodied YouTube video with the kids. So I was like, oh, we're going to learn the Get Me Bodied dance. You want to be a dance teacher and this is what you do. You go and you put on a YouTube video and you tell the kids to learn it and you call that learning and you talk about you going to take my job. Catch me outside. Let me stop. I'm sorry. All right. I forgot I'm supposed to be professional. Keep in mind, she had 5 days and that's what she did with the kids. I left work. She didn't give them the work. And the work was just worksheets, so she didn't even have to go out her way to do that. And then you would think, oh, maybe, like, you know, the kids look good and they actually learned it. They looked a hot mess. They looked crazy. They didn't even learn it. You can learn that whether you have 2 left feet or not in like 2 days. Don't play with me. Do not play with me. And added to that point, because there was a very, very small few, not that much, but I do have to address this. Oh, you're a teacher and you curse like that. Oh, well, maybe you shouldn't curse because, like, your children might see you. Your students might find you. I've been recognized numerous times at different schools, different assignments, different nonprofits, etc. that I've worked at. It is never come into question that I was a bad person or that my content was inappropriate, because my content has been changing lives for years. Point blank, period. One thing about me, I'm confident. I am who I am. I am real. I am raw, but I also do my job. If me cursing bothers you in a general sense, click off, especially as a legitimate adult. Get the fuck over it. Also, I can tell you ain't got no kids and you don't work with kids or you don't be around kids, because literally these kids' language is worse than mine. They can out-cuss me faster than a NASCAR. Like, I don't think y'all understand. These kids' language is deplorable from middle school and onward, to the point where almost every school I've been in, they try to mitigate this by like, oh, if the kids curse, write them up. If that's the case, I'm gonna have a stack of papers on my desk every day. I'm not gonna write kids up for cursing. I'm just not. Like, it just doesn't make sense. That's their language. I try to mitigate it. I try to tell them not to do it. However, I'm an adult. I do what I want on my channel. If you don't like it, I genuinely don't care. I've been doing this for years, and at the end of the day, I'm an influencer first when I'm filming these videos. When I'm in the building with kids, I'm a teacher first. Therefore, get maman. Si vous parlez mes vidéos, yo, get out. Like, I genuinely don't be understanding. Oh, you curse too much. Bye! What do you want me to do? Bye! Y'all. Like, I can't. I genuinely do not understand it. Like I said, I get recognized all the time. However, it's never that. It's never, oh, hi, the Mademoiselle. When I'm telling you, I don't play that with these kids. Like, I'll have kids like, oh my God, I recognize you from YouTube. I'm like, good, now sit down. One of the red flags that literally made me even do these set of videos was the fact that she was sitting there like, damn, shawty, these kids trying to take me down. Oh, I look just like the kids. I look just as young as the kids. You know how many times? I can't even tell you how many times every week. I at least, okay, it depends, because right now I only have one active assignment and it's not really that much. I just accepted an offer at a new school and I guarantee you it's going to happen there too. Honestly, I'm telling you right now, every time I have an ongoing assignment that's 5 days a week, at least 3 days out of that week, I get mistaken for a student. Do I sit there and relish in it? Am I happy about it? No, because it really pisses me off, because now I got to really, okay, and it doesn't help that I'm 4'11". Yes, I'm 4'11". So it's just like, now I got to establish my little dominance as a teacher, okay, because these people think I'm a kid. It's like, I'll be like, hey, where's the teacher's bathroom? And the janitor's like, you a student? I'm like, bro, it happens all the time. So it's one of those things where it's like, why do you think that's cute? Why do you think that's okay? Why are you hyped up by this? Why do you think that that's something that is to be like, why are you proud of that? You are supposed to be a teacher in a building and you're supposed to have some sort of professionalism, but also authority. If you are happy about kids thinking you're a kid, staff thinking you're a kid, you talk about some, damn, shout, these kids trying to take me down and I look like one of them, go to hell. That's not cute. That's not something to be happy about. That's not something to be proud of. It's very, very weird. And it gives Arrested Development and PDF vibes. Was that her intent? More than likely not. However, I need y'all to understand that that is something that happens to teachers all the time, and nobody's sitting out here like, they be thinking I'm a kid. That's weird. And it's a huge red flag that she shouldn't be working with kids. Also, note that she did a day in the life video and showed all the parts of it. And she tried to use the excuse of why she acted the way she acted as, oh, well, no, I didn't say the kids were trying to take me down in a sexual way. I was saying that because they all follow me online. Oh, they was trying to take me down like they was trying to mob me, whatever. They all follow me online. Do they? Because we didn't see any footage of that. So you happen to record all this extra stuff, all this mundane stuff, but you didn't record that. We didn't see no kids mobbing you. And as a matter of fact, it seems like you might have been smoking on these people's campus, whether it was a cigarette, a blunt, whatever, a vape. You shouldn't be doing that. Like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? To add to that, in one of your response videos, you sitting here talking about, oh, you gonna reach out to the kids and the parents. How? You would have loved to work there. How? All of this is red flags. And I didn't notice it until I had to watch it again and again and again after, and when I decided to sit down for the second video. How do you know you really want to work at the school and you really like these kids? You barely know them. You're their substitute. 45-minute, maybe 30-minute periods. Okay, let's be real. Maybe the school got an A-B schedule. It might be an hour-and-a-half periods. Nonetheless, that's not enough to know that you really like a school, you really like the kids. Most legitimate teachers, whether we're talking about substitute or a teacher or a dean or a principal, most of us don't know we really like the kids till a couple months for real. Like, we might like the abilities or the characteristics of a kid. Like, oh, well, this one's cool. But for her to go in there for one day, basically get fired same day, talking about, oh, I really like the kids. Or, oh, I'm going to contact the kids. Why you got the information? You're fucking weird. Why do you have their information in the first place? Why you shouldn't be able to contact them and hit them up whatsoever? You're a substitute. You more than likely don't even have access to the school systems. You more than likely don't have anything to be able to contact them unless you went out your way to do so. Which, you know what? I'm going to leave that right there, because then it teeters into, you know, making accusations that may or may not be true. But understand, you're the one that is making everything worse for yourself. And the idea of her sitting here talking about, oh, well, you know, like, don't let the tattoos fool you, like, y'all judging me based off of parents. Ooh, please go watch the other video, because I kind of already touched on this, but let me just say it again. I have many friends in the LGBTQIA community. One of my closest friends is a stud. Therefore, That shit pissed me off more than anything. It has nothing to do with the fact that you're a stud. It has nothing to do with the fact that you have tattoos. It has a lot to do with your behavior and the fact that you do not understand that your behavior is problematic and inappropriate and downright unprofessional. And then you keep talking and making it worse. And then you sitting here blaming all of us, and then you're asking us to donate to a GoFundMe when you won't even listen to us. Literally, respectfully, shut the fuck up and hang the phone up and go find something to do, because it doesn't make any logical sense. Just because you have tattoos, just because you're part of the LGBTQIA, etc., does not mean you cannot be a professional, does not mean that you should not be working with kids. It has nothing to do with that. It has a lot to do with your actions, how you conducted yourself, and then how you sat there and kept doing it over and over again, because not only did you record it, you edited it, you sat there, you did the SEO, you did the tags, you did the titles, you did all that, and you posted it, you saw nothing wrong with it. That is what the problem is. So interesting, because one of my first teachers in life was a stud. Just to give you guys a quick little background, I went to Catholic school from pre-K to 8th. My pre-K teacher was a stud. Shout out to you, Miss Watkins. She was amazing. She was a great person. And it's funny because I didn't think to mention that in the first video I did, because that had nothing to do with how good of a teacher she was. I've had at least, that I can think off the top of my head, 5 studs from pre-K through college, okay, who were my teachers. And they were amazing. They were great people. I had gay teachers. I had lesbian teachers as well. I think I might have, if I can remember correctly, I had one trans teacher as well. They were great. It never even crossed my mind like, oh yeah, let me talk about my gay or my stud or whatever teachers, because they were so great that that characteristic had nothing to do with anything. So the fact that she has the nerve or audacity to bring that shit up, trying to act like people discriminate against her. No, the way that you acted is the reason that people discriminate against teachers who are in that community. And that's why you got to fucking go, and you are disgusting. Shout outs to everyone that has been keeping their feet on her neck and keeping her accountable, especially in that community. Like I said, I've had teacher and staff members mess with students. I've seen it. Okay, like, and it was disturbing. As a kid, you don't see it, right? If you're watching this and you're a kid, you're not understanding anything me or anyone else is saying right now. However, when you grow up, you're going to see, oh, that teacher was weird. That teacher was disgusting. Oh, that teacher probably shouldn't have been doing that, because they genuinely shouldn't have. Like, legit, I genuinely do not expect kids to understand anything that I'm saying right now, because they're kids. Their brains are not fully developed. They do not understand the consequences of things. For them, they just see a cool teacher. They see a fun teacher. They see a teacher that they could vibe with. But understand, a lot of those types of teachers that is sitting here fighting and vying for attention are the ones that are touching the kids. They're the ones that are doing inappropriate things. They're the ones that's giving them alcohols and vapes, etc., etc. And a lot of y'all not going to like that I'm saying that. But if you don't like that I'm saying that, more than likely it's because you one of them. You one of them that's doing inappropriate things. You're one of them that are out here literally leading these kids to their demise. And I genuinely do not like it. And I will never shut up about it. It has nothing to do with who you are outside of school, realistically. It's how you conduct yourself in the school. Do you actually do your job? And for you to go into these people's school, talk about, oh, I don't make my kids do anything. So let's touch on that real quick. I had certain educators in my comment section talking about, oh, well, I don't really expect the substitute to actually do work, you know, like it is what it is. They're just substitute. I'm sorry that I hold people to the standard of the jobs and the career paths that they choose. I mean, if someone says they're a chef, I'm sorry that I expect them to be able to make a proper omelet or be able to make me a really great steak. Or if I go to the bakery, I expect them to make me like an amazing cupcake. Or if I go to the hair salon and I expect my hair to be done right, because, you know, they're just hairstylists, right? They're just chefs, you know, it's just a substitute teacher. They don't have to teach. Couldn't get. Like, y'all starting to piss me off. Like, it's coming to the point where it's like, are y'all dumb? Like, are y'all dumb? Let's be real, right? If you're a substitute for one day, one assignment, it's all right to chill. Let's just use our heads. Let's just use our common sense, right? But I just told y'all, and for a lot of y'all already know there is a teacher shortage. There is a crisis. It's to the point where substitute teachers are actually being offered legitimate teaching positions because there's no one in the schools. How in your right mind do you think at that point it makes sense for someone to go into a school, say new hustle unlocked, because that at this point you're saying you want to do this long term, and you're saying, well, I don't make my kids do any work. Let's go back to the story where I said I couldn't walk and I was out for 5 days. And that teacher had the nerve of audacity to say she was going to take my job. It got to the point where I ended up coming to work, barely able to walk. And the kids were rolling me around. I love those kids, bro. The kids was rolling me around in the chair. Because I said, you know what? I ain't going to be behind. And these kids got to get their grades in. And this teacher's playing on my top. She's playing in my face and she's playing on my top. Because what do you mean? Like, why you got these kids doing Beyonce Get Me Bodied when I have worksheets set out for them? And let's go into that next point. Somebody, okay, a few people had the nerve audacity sitting there talking about, oh, well, why you got the kids doing worksheets? I mean, they came to teach a dance class. They more than likely didn't expect to give the kids worksheet. Okay, Einstein. Okay, let's think about it, right? Realistically, if you've ever been a dancer, right, or you know anything about dance, you would know there is written work involved. Why? Because there's terms. You have to know the difference between ballet and jazz. You have to know the difference between hip hop and Afro. You have to know the origins, so you still have to write. I've written in almost every dance class that I've taken, with the exception of my adult dance classes. That's different. However, when you're learning dance, you still have to write. You still have to intake information in a certain way that you cannot just dance. So what are we actually talking about? For me, I do a little bit more writing than the average because, like I said, the literacy rate is a tragedy. It is disturbing. These kids need to learn how to read, and they need to keep reading. The screens, the Chromebooks, the phones are a problem. So that's what I do in my class. But let's just be smart, right? In my case, she had work. I had literally at least 20 sets of worksheets. Okay, just in case the kids ran out of things to do. She did none of that. She chose to sit there and play the Beyonce video and have these kids learn to Get Me Body dance. Of all the damn dances you can have them learn, like shit, make them learn the Thriller dance. At the time, it was October. It was literally October last year when I quit. Okay, why didn't you have them learn the Thriller dance? That at least is like real choreography. No offense to Beyonce or whatever, right? I am not part of the Beehive. I know, kill me, right? I don't care for her. That's a good dance. It's cute and all, but it's like, choreography level, the Thriller one would have been better. Okay, at least. Or why don't we analyze the Thriller dance? Why don't we go through what type of contrast we see in the movement? Like, there's so many things she could have did, and she did nothing. She didn't do what I gave her. She did what she wanted, and then what she wanted was garbage, and then she said she was going to take my job. Okay, so let's be real. Are worksheets not easier to administer? Like, what are we actually talking about? Oh, I don't expect them to teach. I didn't expect her to teach either. I did not leave a lesson plan because I didn't have to. The kids knew what they needed to know. I was just out. And the week that I was out, all they really needed to do was learn terms. Why do you guys think it makes sense to perpetuate the idea and the behavior of subs not doing anything, especially not work that they are given? Again, if it's just one day, no big deal. But if you're going to be out for 2, 3, 10 days or etc., and you're telling me, oh, well, we don't expect the subs to do work. Okay, and that's part of the problem. And that's why we get people just applying for these jobs, not giving a damn, and they're just there for a paycheck. Do not piss me off. Listen, I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. Teaching children is not a hustle. Teaching in general is not a hustle. Whether you're teaching 3-year-olds or 30-year-olds, if you're teaching a skill, you have to be able to teach a skill. If you're substituting a class, actually be a substitute and do what you're supposed to do. Don't just sit there and like chill or whatever. I understand if you have no sub plan. I understand if there's nothing that was left. That's a whole another ball game, and I really wish people would use common sense. However, if a teacher leaves work, if you're going to be a long-term substitute, find something to do. Also, final thing, right? We were all talking about how she had a strap on in the video, and she does a Get Ready With Me with the strap on. I digged, okay, I had to put my little journalism hat on, right? I digged and digged and digged and digged. And I ended up finding something about her saying she went through gender reassignment surgery, but I haven't found anything regarding her doing that after. So I'm confused. Like, she never really talks about it after that. So I need someone to confirm or deny this, especially for those of you guys who are her followers, because I'm genuinely confused. It seems to have happened earlier this year. And I understand a lot of people identify as different things. However, she clearly said, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl, earlier in that other video. Child, I'm stressed. I'm confused as hell.
You that TikTok boy?
Hell nah, I can't. I'm a girl.
Like I said, this was going to be a long one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for being here. Shout out to those of you guys who are subscribed to the other channels. If you're not, what we waiting for? Sign up, like, Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. That being said, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram for the dancing content and the more personal content. And yeah, I'm going to see y'all next time. Bye.